Well, good morning, everyone. This is Keith with Positively Osceola, and yet another episode of our Coffee Club Live. And like I always say, this is not a prop. This is a real resource, a tool that I must use. So there it is. Hey, we always love speaking to people in the community and leaders of the community, but certainly today it's a special day for us because we get to hang out with Charlie Draper. Boom. And there he is. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you here. We'll just kind of chat a little bit until we get a few people popping in, and then we'll make it an official start. So as I was saying to Chris earlier, it's a nice day not to be living in Texas, which I believe they're getting pelted with terrible weather.
Oh, horrible! Sweeping the entire Southwest all the way
right
up to the Northeast, and of course, Texas is just not prepared for it. So they don't have the snow equipment removal system down like for example, Buffalo, New York, who expects it regularly. So it's taken a lot of people caught them off guard, and I think the local leaders are having to scramble. I mean, they're having power outages, and you can imagine with those temperatures being without power, it's got to be just crippling. So it's fortunately in Florida we're enjoying very warm weather, and that's why I guess we chose to live here.
I think it's going to be mid-80s today.
I know.
And in Buffalo, it's just another day.
I know. My daughter lives in Buffalo, and a couple of days ago I sent her a text saying greetings from the Sunshine State, where we're experiencing sunny, beautiful days with a high temperature of 88 degrees. It's just to rub it in.
It's crazy. Well, what are you doing? Well, at least you got the Bills up there. They had a good year, so
They did. They almost made it, but I'm also happy with Tampa Bucks also. So
yep, that was good.
Been really interesting to see the Bills and the Bucks play at the Super Bowl, but it was a good game, I thought.
Yep, it was. I think if I'm correct, the opening game next season will feature the Bucks and the Bills, if I'm right. So.
Oh, all right. Oh, good.
Well, let's go ahead and make this official.
All right.
Well, again, Charlie, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I know you're a very, very busy man, and so thanks for carving out a little bit of time with us. And we were just talking before we went live that a lot of people move into the Central Florida area, certainly Osceola County and greater Orlando area, and they may not know of your law firm, which I know for us is shocking, but since you've been here since 1984. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for those people who may not know of your law firm yet, and just kind of tell us what you do, please.
Okay. My name is Charlie Draper. I'm moved down from Buffalo, New York in 1984. My wife was a senior in law school at the time. We formed a practice. I've been here since 1984. Our two primary practice areas are personal injury and family law or divorce matters. Personal injury is probably 90% of what we do are automobile accidents. The other 10% are slip and falls, trip and falls, occasional dog bites, things of that nature. And then, of course, on the other side, the family law side, it's divorce, child custody, child support, things of that nature, visitation. So those are the two primary areas that we focus on. We take pride in the fact that we're able to, because of our size, we're able to give our clients extra attention, which we prefer in explaining. A lot of our clients have never been involved in an accident before. And so we take the time to meet with them, communicate with them regularly, whether by text, email, telephone, or in office conferences. And that's the type of practice that we enjoy, because it's more of a one-on-one. You develop relationships, not only with the client for that particular case, but it's also, we develop a lot of friendships that way. And so we enjoy practicing that way. We're not a factory. We're not in this, we don't handle cases on an assembly line basis. So that's pretty much it, both for the personal injury side as well as the family law side. So, and we're proud of it. We're able to have that hands-on experience and really develop a relationship with the client that goes beyond their case that we're handling. So that's the way we do business. So.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I would think that an accident or a life, family law case, so it's a time of a lot of questions for your clients, for people who are not sure, like you said, they don't find themselves in a scenario that they're used to, right? So there's a lot of questions, and I think that is a challenge. If you're dialing in at any time of the day, you're going to see behemoth represented, commercial wise for law firms. And that is a little bit frightening, I think, because people, that's, like I said, that's a time of question, a time when you need solutions, you need answers. And that can be hard with a firm that is just gigantic. Although you have a good sized staff. Let me see if I can find a couple pictures real quick. Should be able to in this 88-degree weather we're going to have today. There you go. Oh, there's the staff. Love that photo. So how does somebody get a hold of, what are the best ways, given a COVID scenario we have, what is the most often way you are connecting with clients and prospects?
I would say primarily, a lot of people still want to come in. They want that face-to-face contact, wearing masks, staying socially distanced. We do a lot of Zoom meetings, a lot of telephone, email contact. So it's kind of an assortment of different ways to communicate with clients. And so we want our clients to be informed, particularly, well, both sides, both family law as well as the accident side, because for example, for someone who's never been involved in an accident, they're usually greeted on the other side by what I call insurance professionals. These are people who are very experienced adjusters who do this day in and day out. And so they are pretty much very experienced in handling these types of cases, whereas the average client, particularly first-time accident victim, has never had to communicate or confront this situation. And so they really need someone to advocate and protect them against the insurance professionals. And not that all insurance professionals are bad, but some are, some overreach, some take advantage of innocent people who just don't know what their rights are. And so we just feel that they're better represented by having an advocate on their side as well. So, and
we were talking a little bit earlier, and I know when the whole COVID-19 pandemic really locked in, a lot less driving was taking place for sure. So we weren't seeing as many accidents and such. But we were just talking a few minutes before this that we're now the stats are showing that that people are driving more recklessly or distracted. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yes, and that's not just in Florida. That's nationwide. I've read where there's fewer traffic. There's still fewer traffic on our roads in Florida than there were before the pandemic. as well as probably nationwide. But there's a number of factors that come into play. I think that some drivers are looking at the less traveled roadways as raceways. I mean, I've read articles where cars like a Lamborghini has been clocked at 218 miles an hour. I mean, that's just suicidal and homicidal. It just seems like people are taking more risk today. There's more distraction involved. I mean, look at stop at next time you stop at a stoplight for a couple minutes, look around you and see what the other drivers are doing. I bet you probably 80, if not 90%, are on their cell phone. So there's so much distraction out there. So you add distraction plus speed. I saw a guy coming into work today just zigzagging between rows of traffic, and it's just crazy. I mean, it's just an accident waiting to happen. I read an article just recently where violators of school bus, the crossing sign, you know, the school bus stops, you're supposed to stop, that there's been like 30 recent violations where drivers just ignore that. Now you're talking about kids, you know, pedestrians, protecting them getting on and off buses. It's just, you have to be so defensive when you're out there, and it's just, and you can only do so much. I mean, to control your driving, to try to avoid a road rage situation, because you can't control the other drivers. It's just, you have to be a very defensive driver and be prepared that that other driver is not going to be a responsible driver. So just be alert and be aware that people are driving more distracted. People are driving more recklessly, increased speeds, changing lanes, and we've all seen that. But you just need to be aware that you've got to avoid those situations the best you can, because you can't control that. I mean, they can't put enough officers on the road to stop the erratic driving that we're seeing. And it's just, I'm sure, it's not just in Osceola County. It's not just in Florida. It's not just you know, in our area. It's probably nationwide. You add to that that anxiety, that angst. You add alcohol. Maybe people are drinking more now during the pandemic because they can't get to work. You add drugs to it, and it's just an accident. It's just, you know, a perfect storm. You just, it's not a matter of when. I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So you just, the driver today has got to be so apprehensive and cautious and just very, very defensive. Anticipate the worst. It's just, it's unfortunate, but if it should happen, you know, we're there to help you in any way we can. You can reach us, Google Draper Law Office, contact us, 407-846-0075. We're right across the street from the courthouse. Hopefully you won't be hurt, but you may have questions. You may have just property damage and need our assistance. We'd be more than happy to help you in any way we can. But I guess the message I would like to leave you with is just be safe out there and be aware that driving today is not the same as driving 2 years ago. So be well and be safe.
So unfortunately, if someone is involved in an accident, so what tips would you give us as just citizens driving that may find ourselves in that first position where we've never had an accident, somebody does something, and next thing you know, you're in a collision? So what should You mentioned the adjusters that are coming from insurance companies. So what should your typical response be if you are involved in an accident somebody else caused?
So the very first thing you should do, assuming that you're not hurt seriously, is you should take photographs with your cell phone. Take photographs of the damage to your vehicle. Stand back about 8 or 10 feet so you don't crowd it. Take photographs of the damage to the other vehicle involved, because if there's any debris on the street, take photographs of that, because that often will answer who's at fault. Okay, so photographs are most important. Calling, calling for the most closest law enforcement to investigate the accident. If you're hurt, by all means, seek medical attention. If you're hurt but not seriously hurt, I would recommend that you get checked out by like a walk-in clinic, because hospitals charge a lot of money. I've seen them astronomical bills from hospitals for doing CAT scans, and so it's from their point of view, it's preventative medicine, but it's very expensive. Particularly, I've seen them at $11,000 a CAT scan, that will eat up your benefits very quickly. So also, when you should notify your insurance company. You have an obligation to notify your insurance company of any accident you're involved in, and that gives them an opportunity to investigate. Okay, investigate who's at fault. Okay? So you just simply call the 1-800 number on the back of your insurance identification card that gets you to the claim department. You tell them what happened, this is where it happened, when it happened, how it happened, and they will open up a claim file. They'll assign a claim number to that claim file, and they'll assign an adjuster to that claim file. So, and then the other party should be doing the same thing. They should be contacting their insurance company, setting up a claim file, setting up a claim number, setting up an adjuster, and they both begin their investigation. And so then it usually the first thing that is the issue is who's going to pay for the damage to the vehicles, who's going to provide the rental car during the time it takes me to have my vehicle repaired, who's going to pay for my medical bills, and so forth. So those are the initial questions that you'll encounter. Also, you're obligated to cooperate with your insurance company, which means that if they ask you to provide them with a statement of how the accident occurred, you are not obligated to cooperate with the other person's insurance company. You should advise the other person's insurance company where they can see your vehicle, and also ask them at the same time, are you going to be providing me with a rental vehicle? But you should not be giving a recorded or any statement as to how the accident occurred, what your injuries are, about your prior medical history in terms of what injuries you've had in the past. No conversation at all with the other person's insurance adjuster, because they use that against you. Okay, you should really limit what you put on Facebook, because insurance adjusters troll and try to find out, everything about you, and including your activities following the accident. And so we recommend that you do not go online, any type of social media, and discuss the accident or your injuries. So those are the main points.
And so, if I'm right, you said timing is very important. The insurance companies will use that against you if you delay in reporting and delay in moving forward on this. Is that true?
Yes, particularly, number one, you want to report it because you want the benefits to start. You want your car repaired. You want a rental vehicle while it takes to have your vehicle repaired. There's also, on the injury side, you have 14 days within which to seek medical treatment And if you don't get medical treatment within that 14 days, then your benefits, your no-fault benefits, are also referred to as personal injury protection benefits, are reduced from $10,000 to $2,500. So you want to be sure to at least get checked out. Not everyone is injured in an accident, but at least get checked out if you're having any symptoms whatsoever.
Okay.
Because there is it does reduce your benefits if you don't seek medical attention within 14 days.
That's a big one.
And also, if it turns out that you have a more serious injury than you originally thought, the other person's insurance adjuster will use that against you. We often hear, well, your client didn't go by ambulance to the emergency room. Well, not everyone is that injured that they need to go by ambulance to the emergency room. And so the longer you go without treatment, they use that against us by saying, well, your client can't be that seriously injured since they didn't seek medical attention for 3 to 5 days or 10 days following the accident. Well, not everyone. Everyone has a life, and they've got certain obligations, and so they try to avoid seeking medical attention, hoping that it eventually goes away. And so there's reasons, but the longer you go without seeking medical attention, the more they use that against you and saying that you're not that seriously injured. So
makes sense to me. You mentioned, and I know we're getting up there in time, but you mentioned that you do also some Zoom sessions and such. Some of the things that, once the pandemic is in our rear view mirror, hopefully sooner than later, there'll certainly be some takeaways that will remain. I'm sure you're able to do a lot more meetings without having to have people driving to them. So
right.
That's what you're going to continue to do once this is coming.
Absolutely. We have found just something related to this is since the pandemic, our court hearings, not trials, but court hearings have been by Zoom. And really, it's a much more efficient way of handling the hearings for the court and for the attorneys on both sides. I mean, you just you lock in a slot as to when's available. Both attorneys appear by Zoom, and the judge as well, and makes the decision. So it cuts out that travel time. And the same thing with clients. I mean, my dear, if you think about it, I mean, most people are working or would like to work, and so they have families. So they get up in the morning, get their kids ready for school, and then they go to work, and they're exhausted by the end of the day. So if you have to try to fit in an appointment with your lawyer, that's just, it just makes it worse. So we always try to work around whatever's convenient for the client. Sometimes client would like to come in. Other times it's just not convenient. We meet after hours. We Zoom in the evenings, on the weekends, and so we try to make it as comfortable and with the client as we can. And so we have evenings, weekends. So it's just, and I really think that society as a whole is going to be changing their business model and how we conduct business in the future.
Yeah,
This is one of my favorite clients.
Without question. Let me, I'll pull up your website real quick so they can all see where they're going. Bam. And so there you have it. But great way to explore and find out some more things about Draper Law Office, certainly at the ease of your home or your phone or however you like to digest information. So anything else you want to let people know, Charlie, before we say goodbye?
just be safe out there. Just be aware that it's dangerous, and just drive defensively.
Yeah.
Assume the worst is going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I tell my son. I said, I trust his driving, but it's the other person that you have to be concerned with half the time, or more than half the time. It's unfortunate, but that is the way it is right now. Well, I want to again thank you very much for being a part of this today, and a lot of great useful information. We'll make sure all the links are pointing to your website that people can reach out and ask those questions of you and your staff. So we really appreciate you today, Charlie.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you're able to get something out of this. So something useful. I hope you don't need our services, but should you need our services, please reach out to us.
Got it. Again, appreciate your time. Hope you have a great day and a great weekend coming up. I know the fair is going on, the rodeo is going on, so it's a busy time for Osceola County. But again, once again, thank you so much, Charlie.
Thank you. Bye now.
Again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, along with Charlie Draper of Draper Law Office. Together, we're making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Talk to you soon. See you, Charlie.
Thank you. Bye now.